I feel it.
All right, welcome back, everybody, with another episode on the 44th Pod with your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and my co host, Mr. Hernia, aka Always Stays Herny. Man, it's been a while since we did a pod.
Too
I
long.
feel like we say this every month. But again, guys, my work is very unpredictable at times. And let me tell you, when I say I've been hit with back to back to back
Yeah, buddy's
of
getting cooked.
eventful stuff that's happening. Um, I am not shying away in the sense of like I'm not sugarcoating, not even shying away, I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm talking about like today was supposed to be a chill day. No, it was not. And
Got cooked.
it's not gonna be any more chill. It's gonna be uphill the whole entire time.
Hate to
So
hear that. You hate to see
yeah,
it. You hate to hear it, but
it's gotta
just
get
man
done,
up.
right? So
Yep.
um yeah, so actually starting at 8. Me and her, and we usually start around 5 o'clock to get this thing going. But I just got home, and first thing I had to do, I was like, hey, we got to crank this out, dude. We can't not go another week without doing a pod. So, man, here we are, ready to get after it. But Vern, how we doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good, man. It's kind of crazy that if you guys are looking at Rigo, you wouldn't even know what time it is. You would think it's like middle of the day, which is fucking hilarious. Um,
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy, dude. But no, I've been good, man. I've been enjoying my time off. Like I was telling Rigo earlier today, when it's like the first time I talked to Rigo in fucking like even outside of the pod, like
Weeks.
at least a
Yeah.
week and a half or so. So,
Yeah.
I was just telling Rigo that it's that time of year, man. I've been enjoying time off from school. Football's getting started. We just started fall camp last week, and fuck, dude. I mean, we got a inter squad scrimmage this weekend, and then shit, we're doing the real scrimmage the weekend after that, and then it's go time. So less than 3 weeks, man, and man, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Unfortunately, when it comes to week one, I got school going, so not looking forward to that. But it is what it is. I don't want to keep. I
Yep.
feel like I always like bring up school all the time on here, so I'm gonna try to like just not bring it up as much in the sense like I don't think anyone really cares that I'm in school. So, but yeah, man, let's get this thing rolling. We got a bit of a time crunch, so Rigo, I want to kick this thing off. Do
Let's
you
get
want to
it,
do the
buddy.
draft bus or do you want to do the QBs first?
Let's do QBs. I think that would be a banger. So let's
Yeah,
hit it
let's
with
do it.
our QBs. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I could go first. This is our
All
top 10
right.
QBs, and this is more of a projection. So, this is basically like by the end of the season, by the end of the 2026 season, maybe not necessarily going into the playoffs, but just by the end of week 7 or week 18 of this season, who we think is going to be where in terms of top 10. Um, I'll
Yep.
go I'll go 10 to 1. So at 10 I got Baker Mayfield, 9 I got Sam Darnold, 8 I got your boy Caleb Williams. 7, I got Drake May. 6, I got Dak Prescott. 5, I got Patty Mahomes.
Damn.
4, I got Matt Stafford. 3, I got Joel's favorite guy, Action Lamar Jackson.
That's
2, I
crazy.
got Joe Burrow. And 1, I got Josh Allen. I got to be honest, bro. I
Damn.
feel like,
This list is a little shaky, to be honest.
hey, like,
You put some guys at position at spots that I would have thought you would never put guys at. And
hey,
but
yeah.
but hey
Gotta be,
man. Eh,
that's that's beautiful. That's music to my ears. Anytime I get Rigo a little thrown off, I'm all in. So I love to hear that. I feel like from 7 to 10, is probably where I would say it's the most shaky. I think the rest, it's probably just an order thing. I think a lot of people would probably say Lamar shouldn't be as high up, but I kind of feel like this is like kind of shit or get off the pot time for him. A lot of people will say it's been the coaching. He's had the same coaching, the same everything else for the last couple years, and it hasn't been working. It's gotten stale. And then
Yep.
I think signing Zay Flowers like they did. I mean, it's kind of one of those. Like I said, I think it should get off the pot time for him. Same with Joe Burrow. I know he's good, but at the same time, You got you got to
It
deliver
looks
at
really
some
good in a
point.
Niner from. It looks good in a Niner uniform. Let me tell you.
I heard Shador to the Niners, but and same with Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's kind of shit or get off the pot. Kind of all three of those guys. I think they're all MVP candidates when they're healthy and they're playing really well. But
Yeah,
yeah, should get off the pot time. And I think Mahomes, from what I've seen, I know, it's just training camp, and I've always said that I'll wait till the pads come on, we get to the real thing. But I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a year for him where he's kind of not going to be exactly himself. I think it's going to take him a little bit of time to get back to that form. So that's kind of my reasoning for 5, and then Stafford. Um, at Stafford, he's the MVP. And as far as I'm concerned, he has the best defense in the NFL. So he's not. It's the load's not going to all be on him. So if he can just be in, not turnover free football, and make the plays when he needs to, I don't see why he can't be a top 5 QB in the NFL.
yep, yeah, I agree. All right, I guess it's my turn. Unlike Hearn, he had a little bit of time to think about this one. Like I said, guys, I just got home from work, so mine's gonna be pretty spot on, but I wouldn't say it's. Yeah, you know what? No excuses, man. These are the guys I think are my top 10. Instead of starting from 10 to 1, I'm gonna start from 1 to 10. So the first quarterback I have that's just gonna, I think, just be that dude is Josh Allen. Number 2 for me, I would say is probably gonna be Caleb Williams. Number 3, yeah. So Josh Allen, Caleb Williams. Um, Let me see. Let me see. I probably have Dak Prescott. Yep, Dak Prescott at number 3. Then I have fucking Matthew Stafford at 4. Um, Number 5, I got Goff. I think Goff's always just a consistent dude that's always been able to get it done. Like, and when I say like this dude is always reliable, just always throwing the ball, fucking slinging that motherfucker, doesn't get hurt, and just continues to throw the ball and sling it. Whether he wins in the playoff or not, he's just a dude that just always slinging it. Um, and number 6 would probably be. Mm, Damn. 6 would be Jalen Hurts. 7 is Lamar Jackson. 8 is Drake May. 9 is Brock Purdy. And 10 is probably. Damn, this one's hard. Based off Justin Herbert. Actually, no. I swap. I say Brock Purdy's 10. Brock Purdy's number 10 for me. And number 8, I think I said what? I had Brock Purdy at 8, right? That's what I said.
I think you
Pretty
had him
sure.
at 9.
Who did I say at 8? Jordan Love, some shit like that.
I don't know.
Fuck. Whoever I said at 8. I mean, when you gotta listen to this, I'm swapping 8 with 10. So whoever I put Brock. Fuck. I'm putting Brock Purdy last, and whoever I had, I put Justin Herbert at fucking 8. Yeah, I'm hoping not to. I always said it. Again, you guys have had a long, really fucking day, so
I just know
my number's
Lamar
a
was at
little off.
7. So, like, I kind of tuned
Yeah,
out after that.
yeah. Why is that 7? I mean, I dude's coming off. All right, and then, like again, the dude's coming off an injury, um, and he relies more on his mobility and his athleticism more than he does on his throwing. And people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's fucking crazy," for me saying that. But I mean, at the end of the day, like that's literally how you won an MVP. Um, he throws the ball, yes, but in the mix of throwing the ball, obviously his athleticism really wins him um his games. And that's not a knock. I mean, it's just more of like it is what it is. But he's coming off an injury, so he's gonna have to manage to be able to stay in the pocket. And he did lose a really his I would say number 1 center in the NFL besides when Jason Kelsey retired, and that center is obviously with the Raiders now. So, yeah, and he's also got a new head coach. So, there's a lot of changes in Baltimore. So for those reasons alone, I put him closer to the closer to 10 than I do at one, just based off the changes that he's dealing with this upcoming season.
Fair enough. I think it'd be really interesting to see what people think about our list. I'll try to get that up ASAP tomorrow. I think people are gonna have issues with both of our lists for sure. I think for me, it'll probably be like the Lamar. I think my top for sure 2 and 3 with Burrow and Lamar. I think for sure people are gonna be like, why, especially ahead of the reigning MVP and Patty Mahomes. But and then I think for you, I think Goff, which I'm not mad about the Goff one. I think it's a little high for me, but you got to remember, I think people forget he was the number one overall pick at one point. And he can spin it. Like, I think he's pretty good. Um,
He just doesn't
now,
get hurt, bro. I
yeah,
literally
I
just
think
put it
that's
on that.
one of his best abilities is availability. And I think, anytime you can say that about an NFL guy, they're probably pretty good. So, um,
Yeah.
now you don't have to be a specific, you just give a range here. For a guy like Jaden Daniels, where would you put him at right now? You don't have to say like a specific number, but you can give me like, top 20, top 15, anything like that.
I put a JD5 at 15 if I had
Okay.
to.
That's what I was thinking
Um,
too. I was thinking the same range, like from 14 to
and yeah,
17 range.
yeah, and that's not because I don't think he can ball. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he has potential to be really good. And I mean, obviously, based off his rookie season, he was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just a thing for me about injuries, and it's the same thing about. That's how I feel about Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. I think Joe
Hmm.
Burrow is one of my favorite quarterbacks. Like I like Jalen Hurts. The only downside of Joe Burrow is the fact that he gets hurt so much and he can
Yep.
never play a full season. That's why it's so hard to put him in the top 10.
Yeah.
And
No,
Jaden
that's fair.
Daniels, yeah, it's just
It
for me,
matters.
it's
That
just
stuff
being
that
available.
matters.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Now another guy who's been around quite a while, A Rod, Aaron Rodgers. Where would you have him range wise?
2025.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think he's still top 15 ball spinner, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think the motherfucker can spin it, man. He can spin it with the best of them. I think obviously he's not gonna be the guy that he was 10, 15 years ago, making crazy Hail Mary throws and all that, because obviously he's a lot older now. But I think he's got the right situation. He's got the right coach with them, guy he's been around for a while. So I think he's got every chance to keep being a top 15 QB. Even though I don't know if he's officially
Yeah,
said it,
no,
but
no, he said it. He said it
he's
already.
basically
This is his
said
last season.
it's his last dance. So
Yeah.
um, I think that has a lot of potential to be a big storyline and really be special. Which I'm really excited to see that. So looking forward to that. Um, any other QBs, Rigo, that you think we maybe missed or that are like
I
fringe
mean,
top 10?
I think there's a lot of QBs that have a lot of potential. I mean, and I say that in the sense of like a lot of some of these QBs are injury away from being in the top 10. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like I think I would say an honorable mention, and I hate to say this just because I just think this guy is kind of like a bust, based on what he's done in the league. But I mean, he did have a new head coach and kind of seems like he turned it around a little bit. And there's a few of the guys I feel like that. One of them is Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence had a really good season last season. Decided to turn it around, so there's some promise there. Bryce Young is another quarterback that I think that could really be in the top 10. But based off what he's done so far in the NFL, so far, it doesn't help his case. But based off
Yeah.
last year, I mean, he took his team to the playoffs, I believe, or a game
Yeah.
shy from the playoffs or whatever. So yeah, there's some promise there between Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, um, the Colts are another team.
Daniel
And
Jones.
Danny
Yeah.
Dimes. I just don't think I need to see more, and he needs to just not get hurt. Um, another situation would I would not say any quarterbacks in Minnesota. Oh, a fucking Shador Sanders. Um, it's just a matter of time when Deshaun Watson plays like shit and he decides to take over, and Shador decides to um when they give him the green light to go and be a starting quarterback for the
Yeah,
Cleveland Browns. I think that has some promise, and I wouldn't say he's hard to say he's top 10, but if he was in the top 10 list, I would say he has potential between reaching 6 to 10 in a top 10 list. I wouldn't
yeah.
break him in the top five. Um,
I think
I'm
that's
trying to
fair.
think of yeah, and I'm
I
trying to
feel like
think.
I think for me, like I didn't put Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's a guy like obviously he could be depending on who you are. I think you can argue um he should be top 10. I didn't put Brock. I think in the right circumstances he could be a top 10 guy. Um I think there's a lot of them. That's why I said like I feel like the back end of my list. I feel like all those guys from like 8 to 15, you could rearrange them any way you want, and I think you could have the argument that Trevor Lawrence or Jordan Love or whoever should be a top 10 guy. But really interesting. You brought up Bryce Young. Obviously, when we're recording this, there's only been one preseason game so far, which was the Hall of Fame game that
Yeah,
just happened this past weekend.
yep.
Now, obviously, he didn't play. It was the Panthers and Cardinals. Just first thoughts. Obviously, football's back, and I think I can say this safely for you and I. Glad to have it back.
Couldn't be any more happy.
Hey, it was getting a little tough. We're trying to come up with stuff every week to talk about. So,
Yeah,
kind
I
of a
mean
blessing
that.
that we didn't have. I
Yeah,
feel like, I feel like, especially with our teams, there really wasn't a whole lot of news besides the obvious ones with, the substation, and then obviously Mendoza coming in training
yeah.
camp and all that. So, glad football's back. What are your first thoughts immediately from that game? Um,
Well, to be honest with you, that game really surprised me in the sense of how interesting that game actually was. I thought this game, like, I mean, you got the Cardinals and the fucking Carolina Panthers. I'm like, dude, two teams that are kind of like trash, like as far as like playing each other. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be much competition because I mean, the Cardinals have been ass, and the guys that we actually want to see from Carolina, like Bryce Young and those starters. Uh, like I was like, I want to see the starters, not the second, thirds, and fourths, right? Um, but the game was actually really fucking interesting. I'm not gonna hold you. Uh, Seeing Carson Peck for the first time, I was like, yo, this dude can fucking ball. So that was really cool. I was hoping that I was gonna see Jeremiah Love, but he didn't play. So that kind of just tells you like, yo, they value this guy and they don't want him to get hurt in the preseason. But as a rookie, I mean, I think you kind of need those live reps against these twos and threes before you go against ones and twos. So that was a little sad to see. But overall, like, I mean, it just shows you, like, dude, that backup quarterback from Carolina, dude, that dude has that dog in him. So, I mean,
Haynes
that was
King,
really
baby,
cool.
Haynes King,
Yeah.
Haynes King,
But
Georgia Tech.
if you're an Arizona fan, I would, if I were you, I'd be feeling pretty happy of what you've seen. So no complaints for me from the first preseason game in the NFL season. So I enjoyed it. Good time. What about you?
Yeah, I think I remember growing up as a kid that the Hall of Fame game. Now obviously, I'm a '90s baby just like you, so I don't have like a crazy deep history bag of watching the Hall of Fame game. But I do remember like it was one of those preseason games where everyone kind of showed out, and like you see a lot of starters play that usually wouldn't play, and nowadays
Hmm.
usually it's kind of a toss away game, real and which is really unfortunate because it's all about like kind of giving back to guys that like paved the way and all that stuff. So to see like a really competitive game, I feel like the last couple times it hasn't really been that great. To see really competitive game, especially near the end, it was basically a game winning drive to end the game. Um, I think the biggest takeaway, I think you nailed it on the head. I think Carson Beck has I think I told this to Rigo earlier today that I think he's got every reason to start now. I think obviously
Hmm.
we'd like to see him consistently do it week to week. So obviously, I think this next preseason game, if he can do what he just did this past game, I don't know if you're the Cardinals. I don't know if Jacoby Brissett's really. I mean, to me, you got nothing to lose. I think you start Carson Beck, and if he shows out, great. And if not, you're gonna get a top five guy at quarterback next year. Um, just
Yeah,
it's kind of the way the league works. But and then yeah, I mean Haynes King, dog, uh, basically single handedly won the game at the end with the run, the touchdown run. Um, but yeah, I think the biggest storyline is definitely the Carson Beck stuff. I agree with Rigo also with the Jeremiah Love take. I think rookie's really like I get it. He's probably going to be a big important piece for their offense, but given who they have, it's not like they don't have any running backs or receivers or anything. Like they have dudes. So the fact that they kind of benched him, I at least play him a drive or something just to kind of give us a taste of it.
yeah,
But I get it. It's a big investment. I think he's like what do we say? He's like second highest paid running back or whatever it is, whatever stat it
something
was.
crazy, some
Um,
crazy shit.
but yeah, so I think that was really interesting as well. Um, but we'll see. I mean, it's the first game of the preseason. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of storylines, I'm sure. As the week goes on, I don't know. I think they start 2 weeks though. I don't know if it's this Thursday or if it's next Thursday, but I know they're starting up pretty. Maybe it's this week. But I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see our teams play each other. I think that one's in Vegas. I think it's week 2 of the preseason, so always a good time when the Raiders and Niners get together. Um,
Yeah,
as long as we stay away from
I
that substation, I think we're going to be just okay. Um,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
just waiting for the Niners to trade for Max Crosby. Like that's literally what I'm waiting for now. So hopefully
same
that'll
here.
happen
I
soon.
can't wait. I can't wait to have Niner first round picks that turn into top 15 picks. Can't wait. But speaking of
Yeah.
picks, Rigo's just been on it today. I got to just give him some credit here because this guy's been on it with the segues. He's throwing up these alley oops and I'm dunking them. So shout out to Rigo for that. But speaking of NFL picks, something I kind of wanted to talk about was guys that we feel like you heard me say it earlier about the quarterback shit or get off the pot. Um, there's some recent draft picks that I think are starting to get close to the hot seat. I'll talk about the guys from last year. This is their sophomore year. Then I'll talk about guys that really like it's on. Like you got to figure this shit out. So, 3 guys I put on this list from last year, and we'll go one by one on them, and you just tell me if you agree or disagree. First one. This one hits close to home for me. Ashton Genty. Do you think he's approaching that bust area yet?
Let's see. I mean, I think those sort of things are a little hard just because it's hard for a Raider in the sense of like you guys have never really had an offensive line that good. I mean, and also the quarterback play and just everything about them hasn't been good.
It's shit.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, so I wouldn't say he's there yet. I think after this season, based off of like, you guys invested into an O line this time. You got
Yeah.
2 promising quarterbacks and Kirk Cousins and then fucking Freddie Mendoza.
Yeah.
And you got more weapons, right? So I think after the season, if he can't produce, he can't average more than 4.4 yards a carry or even 3.5 or something like that. I think
He's
if
on the hot seat.
anything under he's got to be. And then I think you got to start looking at different running backs or something like that.
Yeah.
So that one's
Yeah. I
just
think. I
depending
think
on
with
what he
him.
plays like this season.
I think with him, it's really interesting because like the biggest thing about training camp for the Raiders the last couple weeks, the guy they drafted in the 4th round, Mike Washington. Everybody's been raving about this guy that he looks like he's this and that, and like he's been getting a lot of reps with the ones, and so a lot of people are kind of like what's going on here, which I don't think it's anything crazy. I think this guy's going to be a contributor. I think it's kind of the really Kubiak, especially last year. Look at Seattle. He's a huge believer in running back committees. And I think the fact that the Raiders have 2 really young running backs, there's no reason why to not get him reps with the ones because eventually he's going to have to get them. So I think that's a little overplayed. I think people are kind of looking too deep into that. But yeah, I feel like you're spot on. I think the Raiders haven't really had that surrounding for him. I think besides Brock Bowers, who's been there? They, I think if you ask a casual NFL fan, I don't think they can name you one receiver from the Raiders unless they play fantasy football. So, I think it's a fair point. I think I agree if he's kind of average this year, given where he was drafted, I think he would be approaching that bust area. The next guy, also a top 5 pick, Abdul Carter with the Giants, edge rusher.
Oh
Um,
my god, this one's ass. I think he's ass.
just ask like there's no bouncing. He's
Dude,
not bouncing back, or
I think he is what he is. I don't think he's reached his peak, and you're not gonna get much more than what he's already given this season. And that's what I mean by ass.
so with Johnny Harbaugh, like he's fucked. Like it doesn't matter. He's already cooked.
And he's cook. I mean, because look. If you think about it, right, and I'll say this with any any player of that caliber, right? Either you're a difference maker or you're a contributor, right?
Yeah,
Him, he's just a contributor to whatever they already have on the D line, right? You
yeah,
have the Spider-Man dude. What's his name? Fucking Theodore, whatever the fuck his name is. I call him Spidey because everybody knows him in from the Giants organization, of Spider-Man or whatever. He does that
yeah,
weird shit. He's a fucking baller on that D line, right? And you got Abdul Carter. Now you would think for the way they picked Abdul Carter in the first round, like how high they drafted him, he would be a significant difference maker, right?
yeah.
How many sacks did the Giants get from the D line?
Couldn't tell you.
Exactly.
Probably
I
not
couldn't tell
many.
you. Yeah, because I
Probably not many.
one thing you didn't hear much of anything from the Giants D line. It wasn't scary, it wasn't anything, right?
Yeah.
So for those reasons alone, it's like, dude, like I mean, y'all can fact check me or whatever, like, but me, I pay attention to um a lot of football, right? Like I mean, it's hard to keep up with like a certain players and all this sort of things. But
Yeah.
from everything I heard last season, I didn't hear much about Abdul Carter besides him. I think he got benched, and he wanted a goat's number. I forgot what's his name. He was begging to have his number because he thought he was as good
Shame
as
on you.
him.
That's LT Lawrence
It
Taylor. Come on, bro.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor, my bad. Um,
You got to know
yeah,
that
shame on
one.
me.
I
Yeah,
can't
he
pass you with
wanted.
that one. That's inexcusable.
Yeah, no, no. Yeah, that's my bad. He wanted Lawrence fucking his number, didn't get it at the beginning of the preseason.
Fuck.
He had attitude problems. I believe he got benched. I'm pretty sure he got benched for he didn't start. And I just heard more things wrong about what he was doing than I heard positive on the field. So like again, do I believe he's any better? Is he going to get any better than what he is? Probably not. He's going to be like another Chase Young. Well, actually, no, I can't even say that because Chase Young was defensive player at one point in his career. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just think he's just another player that the Giants may have missed on. Well, you guys can be like, oh, that's you're saying that too early or whatever. But I mean, history has a funny way of repeating itself. When guys have problems, you either get better or you just stay the same or you get worse. And he's probably going to get worse before he gets better. But yeah,
There you go. Simple. And then the last guy from last year's class, I was gonna bring up. Gosh, I just had it on the top of my head.
Marvin Harrison.
No, that's 24. I was gonna bring up that class next, but last year specifically, Matthew Golden was one I was gonna bring up, the receiver from the Packers. But there's another guy I was thinking of, but oh well.
Oh, perfect. Here to back up my claim. Abdul Carter had four sacks during his rookie NFL season. Four sacks.
Eh,
So
I'll be honest though, like I don't think that's that crazy. Oh, I remember who the other guy was. I don't think it's that crazy. I remember when we drafted Khalil Mack at 5, and his first year, everyone said the same thing because he only had like I think at the most 6 sacks, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, bust!" The Raiders did it again. They overreached this and that, and then the next year he showed out. So, that's why I was like, that's why just for people listening to this or watching this, like by all means, this is a class. It's way too early to say they're definitively a bust or not. So that's not what this specific class, which is last year's class, it's not what we're saying. We're just saying these are guys that could be on this list come this time next year when we're talking about it. Now, like I said, Matthew Golden's a big one. Um,
Look,
I
look,
mean,
hold on. I don't mean to keep cutting you off here, but again, right? Because I want to fast check myself before someone has to do it for me. So, yes, Abdul Carter was benched twice during his rookie season. One for disciplinary reasons related to tardiness and missed team functions. So he's benched for the opening series against the Green Bay Packers, caused by missing a team walkthrough slash meeting function. Second benching occurred for the entire first quarter against the New York, the Patriots, caused by being late to team meetings. So yeah, I mean, you do that as a rookie, man. It's probably not fucking good.
yeah, it's fuck stick activities if I've ever heard it.
And
Um,
4 sacks. Come on now.
yeah, but yeah, Matthew Golden was one. I feel like he was taken with the first round pick, and I feel like most
Ass.
receivers, when you're taken with the first round pick, at some point you're expected to contribute in your rookie season. That never happened. Um, so
Yeah.
much so that they had to trade receivers away and let receivers go to kind of make room for him to be a guy. So we'll see. That's one where I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And then the last one, which I think a lot of people would argue was the best player in last year's class, your boy Travis Hunter. Obviously, he finished the year injured. I think he only played like a handful of games, so he didn't really play his whole year.
Yeah.
I think he's one that if he doesn't figure out at least one side of the ball and be a really good starter on that side, whatever it's going to be, I think people are going to instantly call him a bust. And considering the Jags used an additional first rounder to move up and get him, I don't think they're necessarily wrong. So that'll be one to kind of look out for. Now, Rigo mentioned earlier Marvin Harrison Jr. from the class of 2024. I think, and he's honestly the reason why I wanted to talk about this with Rigo because he is clearly somebody that if he doesn't figure it out this year, he's a bust. Like, let's call it what it is. He was he was he was supposed to be the best receiver in that class, with which had Roma Dunes, which had Malik Neighbors, was it Brian Thomas? Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
And I'm probably missing a couple other guys, but this guy was supposed to be the next best thing from Ohio State. Ohio State has this claim that the receiver you, and yeah, it's not looking good. So he was kind of the big one, and it's pretty obvious. So we don't really have to delve into that one. I think two more I got on this list that are pretty obvious. The first one being Michael Penix Jr. I mean, you're competing with Tua, big dog. Like, if you can't figure out how to stay healthy and sling it, I mean, get fucked. Like, there's nothing else I can
Yeah.
say about that. Like, you're on a really good team. You got Bijan Robinson. You got some guys around you, Drake London, your boy Kyle Pitts. Like, there's no excuses. If you can't figure it out, like I said, get fucked. So, and then obviously the next big one in that class as well, JJ McCarthy. Uh, Same situation. Like, if you can't figure it out, you got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, a decent running game, TJ Hawkinson, and a bunch of other guys. Like, if you can't figure out a way to beat the mental midget Kyler Murray, uh, get fucked as
Yeah.
well. So, um, I mean, yeah, thoughts on Penix and McCarthy? It feels like those ones are pretty like obvious too, right?
Yeah. So the thing is, I think Michael Penix has a really good upside. Like I think he could be really good. But obviously he's getting hurt, so it doesn't help his case by any means. But if I would have to bet my money on a quarterback that could be really electric in the sense of him or JJ. Um, I'd put my money on Michael Penix. And I said it because we saw what JJ looked like when he was healthy, right? And I give him no excuses just based off his offense of the players that he throws the ball to and the head coach that he has, right? Um, you have a wizard in Kevin O'Connell, and you have arguably the number one wide receiver in the entire NFL. Um, it's either him or it's Jamar Chase as number one, right? They're always back and forth. And then you got T.J. Hawkinson, arguably a top five tight end. You just got ballers on the offensive side, right? And so when we saw JJ in the first game where he was actually healthy, dude looked distraught. Didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Could not throw the ball. And then I think he lost the first one and won the second. And he looked decent in his win. And decent is a stretch because I'm like, dude, you have a phenomenal offense. There should be no excuse why you should look like one of the best quarterback, at least a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And he looked at least top 20. So yeah, I give him no excuses. And I think he's definitely on the hot seat. That's why they brought in Kyler Murray, either to take over for him or just to compete and put a fire under his ass. But to be honest with you, if JJ can't stay healthy, I think he's done in the NFL or at least done with the Vikings. The Vikings are just gonna have to swallow the pill that they missed on a quarterback in the first round. Um, so yeah, I think JJ's kind of ass. He's definitely on the hot seat, like dead ass on the hot seat. Especially if you do not start over Kyler Murray. Like if the Vikings start Kyler Murray over you, that should just say everything.
Yeah, totally agree. And the Vikings, that class is really interesting because they also traded up that year for Dallas Turner, who's an edge rusher from Alabama. I think they gave up a first rounder the for the next year's class. Kind of the same
Yeah.
thing. So really interesting with them. Sorry. The one last thing I wanted to talk about, is there was a ton of contract extensions done over the past couple weeks. The biggest one, Rigo, was obviously Bijan and Jameer Gibbs. They got huge contract extensions. Jalen
Yep.
Carter, Chris Olave, Zay Flowers. Which one of those that I mentioned? Oh, Sam Laporta. Which of those out of the six that I just mentioned, Jameer Gibbs, Jalen Carter, Bijan, Olave, Zay Flowers, and Laporta, which one is going to live up to their contract? And then give me one that you think is going to disappoint with their contract.
I'll give you two. I think Gibbs, Bijan arguably are gonna overdo their contracts. I think
Hmm.
they're just phenomenal running backs at their position. I think they are what the modern day running back is supposed to look like or what it looks like now.
Yeah.
Um Chris Olave, I think he's closer to underselling what the extension is given just based off his quarterback play.
Yeah.
And it's no fault to him. I don't think he's gonna get the opportunities as the other quarterback or other wide receivers with his skill set that he deserves, right? So for that reason alone, I think he's closer to underselling what his contract is. And I think the Saints know that already. So I'll say him. It was Chris Olave, Jameer Gibbs, Bijan, Sam Laporta, and who was the other one?
Zay Flowers and Jalen Carter.
Oh, Zay Flowers is number two. Um, Jalen Carter, I think he's gonna be what his contract is. I don't think he's gonna give you more, and I don't think he's gonna give you less. And what I mean by that is that I think he gets his one extension and then he's gonna get traded after that one extension. And um and I say that based off the fact that I think he'll get in trouble. Because obviously he's had some issues, and I think the Eagles will finally give up on the fact that like, hey, we don't want to keep dealing with this. We gave you the contract, we see how it worked out. Either it works or it doesn't. But um, yeah, so I'll say that for those reasons alone. And then Sam Laporta. Um, yeah, I think he owns his contract too. I think he has a good quarterback in Jared Goff that throws the ball across the field, spreads the ball evenly, and I think he will live up to his contract as well.
Interesting. I think for me, I think Bijan, I think will outperform that contract, barring injury. I think obviously there's an asterisk for everybody if any of these guys get injured. I think it'd be pretty tough, obviously, to live up to it. But yeah, I think Bijan by far has the best chance to over deliver on his contract. Olave is an interesting one because he does have an injury history, especially to the head. So I think if
Yeah.
he gets a C word, you know, it could be in jeopardy. But I think the guy that by far is going to underdeliver or even not even make it is Jalen Carter. I think
Jalen
you're right.
Carter. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
Shitbird, total shitbird. Can't keep out of
Yeah.
trouble. Can't stay out of his own way, unfortunately. And I mean, we'll see. I hope I'm a lineman guy. Everyone knows I'm a lineman guy, but so hopefully I'm wrong. He proves me wrong. I'd love to be like, hey, I fucked up. He's a fucking animal. Um, but yeah, until he can prove otherwise that he's mature enough to handle it, I just got no faith in the guy. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say either him or Olave would be my pick. But um, yeah, I feel like Jalen Carter's kind of the safe one. It's really kind of a hard. Maybe Zay
I'm
Flowers and
telling you,
that.
I think, and like again, Jalen Carter is just like what I think he might be. Either he's gonna own his contract and be what his contract is, or he's not, and he's gonna just fucking be like, damn, we kind of just overpaid for a guy that we just don't want to deal with anymore. And the same thing with Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is on that edge of like he might not live up to his contract just because you got to worry about Lamar Jackson staying healthy and the fact that like what the offense is going to look like for the future. Um, and so yeah, there's just too many question marks for me based off the changes, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's Lamar himself because I think he's electric and I think he's a phenomenal talent. There's just too many changes on that side of the ball for me to like really believe. I have to see a season to be like, okay, like this dude has some promise.
Yeah,
Lamar's slinging the ball and stuff like that. So those are the reasons why.
yeah. No, I think it makes total sense. Um, but yeah, obviously we're really excited about the football year. I think next pod, I think we're gonna have to do a top 10 teams going into the season. I think that'll be really good.
Oh yeah.
And
Yep.
then
Yep. Yep.
obviously, hopefully by that point, one of our teams has played, and then we can talk about our teams as well. But I think that's just about it, Rigo. Unless you got anything else to talk about.
Nah,
I'm really,
man.
I'll be honest, I'm really looking forward to the third launch for Perfon. If you guys haven't already, hit the
Yeah.
link in the bio. I'll make sure, or not in
Yup.
the bio,
Yup.
hit up the link in the description of this YouTube video. I'll make sure it's in there. And then please
Yup.
like,
Yup.
subscribe. If you guys see this clip on Instagram, like, subscribe, or like and follow.
Oh, yeah, especially on the thing because I know Hearn's gonna do his little clips and stuff of like our top 10 QBs. Again, I know a lot of guys either gonna comment and be like, "Yo, this shit's like whack" or whatever. You don't agree with us. Please fucking leave your top 10
Yeah,
quarterbacks in
please.
the comments. And if there's enough people that leave their top 10, we'll put up a like a
We'll
little
react to
clip
it or
of like
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey,
Yeah, we'll
like,
talk about it.
we agree, disagree, or like, hey, we probably agree with you or disagree, and like, hey, we would switch them up. But yeah, anything to give us something to talk about, we appreciate it. So
Yep,
yeah, I
100%.
mean, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us talk. Hopefully we can put up another video up soon when our teams play. Again, sorry for being super busy with work. It's just been very unpredictable lately. But yeah, man. I'm your host, Mr. Regoat himself, and
Uh-huh.
Herno, my co-host, aka Mr. Stay Herney. Um,
Yes,
you
sir.
guys have a good day and a good weekend, man, or a good week. Sorry, but that is us signing off. 44 pod out, baby.
Uh-huh.